So what I'm saying that Bobby Wine's candidature, NUP, which I will not personally involve myself in those kind of politics, has left a lot to be desired. And it's not only me. Everyone has kept quiet. Where is Augustine Ruzindana? Where is Alam Musumba? Where is Besije? Where are all those traditional actors who are in parliament, the senior opposition politicians, even more senior to me? Why is everyone quiet? And yet that was not the case when Besije was the presidential candidate. Where is Cassiano Wadri? Everyone is keeping a social distance as if Bobby Wine has COVID.
Odongo Otto, one of the veteran opposition politicians, came out to give reasons as to why he hesitated to support Bobby Wine. And I realized that very many politicians are starting to take Odongo's stand because of the reasons I'm going to point out in this video. For those who don't know, Odongo Otto is one of the few members of parliament who was able to serve in parliament for 20 years. It means that he had something special to lead the people in which the people of the constituency comes from. Before I proceed, I want to play a tape when Odongo Otto was giving reasons. By the way, they are frivolous, and I'm going to explain in this video as to why he was saying that he was hesitant to support Bobby Wine. Here is the tape.
So what I'm saying that Bobby Wine's candidature, NUP, which I will not personally involve myself in those kind of politics, has left a lot to be desired. And it's not only me. Everyone has kept quiet. Where is Augustine Ruzindana? Where is Alam Musumba? Where is Besije? Where are all those traditional actors who are in parliament, the senior opposition politicians, even more senior to me? Why is everyone quiet? And yet that was not the case when Besije was the presidential candidate. Where is Cassiano Wadri? Everyone is keeping a social distance as if Bobby Wine has COVID. Something is not right. You people, you don't want us to say anything because he said they will ban your house. Something is not what? Is not adding up. So
that is Odongo Otto. Odongo Otto came out to say, to speak about Bobby Wine's candidature. The reason he gave out that he's hesitating to support Bobby Wine is, one, there are some veteran politicians who are not supporting Bobby Wine. And he went on to mention the names. One, he came out to say that by the time Kizza Besigye was on the floor of politics, these people supported him. But if you look around, people like Augustine Ruzindana, they are in their 78. A person who has been who was settled in 70 years, he may take a back seat in politics. That's natural. All the people spoke about took a back seat in politics, not because of Bobby Wine candidature. Even, by the way, by the time Besigye was on the forefront, these people had already taken a back seat. When you speak about Cassiano Wadri, he mentioned him. Cassiano Wadri was helped to win the Arua by-election by none other than Bobby Wine, because even FDC had another candidate in Arua by-election. So even Cassiano Wadri tested the support of Bobby Wine. It's not true that those people are not engaging Bobby Wine. Just that Odongo Otto chose those names who have taken a back seat. There are very many politicians who have engaged Bobby Wine, and they are typical politician veteran like Mugisha Muntu, who is working closely with Bobby Wine. Okay, like Israel Mayengo, etc. So it's not true that people are taking a back seat from Bobby Wine. Secondly, I'm realizing that Odongo Otto somewhat speaks on the position of how should I explain it? Of opposition thinking that if some people are not engaging on a certain position, then it is fake. There are some people in the political arena who think that if they are not on the lead, then that thing is not genuine. It's the reason why even when NUP became the biggest opposition party, FDC started fighting it. I know it's somehow natural for a person who has been in politics for 20 years and you are being led by a person who came previously, like 5 years ago. It's always natural to feel jealous. Okay? Secondly, Odongo Otto also came out to say this. First, listen to this video again so that I can explain to you. Here's the tape.
Objective. But when your hands are tied, I'm even now campaigning for some few individuals who are in NRM because I'm free like a bird in the air. Because I know they have the heart for the country. So I'm bringing something new that is positive criticism, and I like the new blend I'm carrying. I'm also shocked in my political rallies now. In my campaign launch, I even saw the MC was putting on Museveni's t-shirt, and it's the master of ceremony.
So that is, if you hear Odongo Otto, is also coming out to say that it's becoming independent, and independent that is leaning both on NRM and the opposition. First of all, I've seen very many politicians taking Odongo Otto's stand, because we all know that transition is hovering over us. You know, Museveni is in his 80s. Soon we may transit from one president to another. So such people like Odongo Otto are getting a stand on where they can lean on the opposition and on government, so that if anything happens, he's free to go wherever he wants. Don't forget, in the last election, Odongo Otto ran on a political party. Okay? Right now he's running as an independent. And trust me, a replacement which was made in Aru County to replace Odongo Otto, for me, anytime you can give me Odongo Otto, when it comes to matters of legislation and putting the voice of the opposition on the floor. But what he's saying right now is frivolous. It is frivolous. It's just stepping on the land and on the lake at the same time, so that he can find a way to join anything. If he comes out to say that on his campaign launch, a person was wearing an NRM t-shirt, it is the master of ceremony, it was planned. In politics, nothing happens without a reason. Because if you are going to be a master of ceremony of my campaign rally, I must even dictate on how we are going to wear. So it was within the plan. So Odongo Otto is getting a stance where he can work closely with both parties as he waits to understand which is more favorable. Because right now he's not working with the NUP. FDC is crumbling, he cannot go back, because the shape in which FDC is in is not okay. And some of these politicians who have a lot of experience, most especially from the FDC, never joined NUP because they felt like they are being led by a person who didn't have enough experience. Yet leaders just emerge. No one creates leaders. Let's continue with Odongo Otto. Yes, the
board that now you are independent, is no longer taking sides.
What does being independent mean?
It means you have
no, Honorable. Been in opposition politics for 20 years. What does being in, like, is it even a label to be proud of?
Yeah, but where is the opposition going? Even the Israelites were in the desert for 40 years, and they had to get themselves out. We have been here for 40 years, and we are not growing. Our leader is in prison. Other presidential candidates have been locked out. We are not growing. So you want to spend 80 years in doing something which is not snowballing. We have been suffocated. We have been stifled. We have been dispersed. So it is wise kind of to metamorphosize and see how we can handle Uganda in the post-Museveni era, which is near. It is not very far. I know some.
So that is Odongo Otto. So he's also putting out a point I was talking about. Some of the people are getting this stand of leaning on the NRM on the opposition because they see transition coming. Secondly, there are those people who think that after working hard in the opposition and after failing to realize change, they tend to break down. Some people, after breaking down, they tend to join what they have been fighting for. If you fail to beat them, join them. Some people, after failing to realize change, they may decide to abandon, do other things. Some are both. So for Odongo Otto getting this stand, feels that after being in the opposition for more than 25 years, it feels like it's time maybe to start working along with the regime as he waits for transition, because he came out to talk about transition, about that it is near, and truth be said, it's near. Okay, let's continue with Odongo Otto.
Talking about it, you know. So this is part of the metamorphosis, but to an assurance to the viewers and listeners, there are certain things I cannot compromise as Honorable Otto. For example, they have to pay our cattle. They stole our cows. They have to pay. We need the cattle compensation. There is no compromise. Next, we have been invaded by the Balalo. They should leave our land and go where they came from, in Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, Congo. So my criticism of government will be issue-based, not color-based. So this is the new brand Odongo Otto is bringing to the national political scene. And
so that is Odongo Otto. So you clearly see that the things I've explained have come to pass. Odongo Otto is getting distant because he feels like being in the opposition for 25 years and failing to remove the dictator, yet he even lost his Aru County seat as an MP. It's time to lean on the government and the opposition as he waits to see what is going on. Okay? But the one fault I find is for such veteran opposition leaders who criticize those who are doing some work, however little it is, trying to paint a picture that they have given up, they are waiting for transition to happen. Yet others are working either for a transition or to get regime change. That's the fault I see in Odongo Otto. And there are such very many politicians who, because of the inferiority of politics, they don't see Bobi Wine as their leader. There are very many of them, most especially those who started with Kizza Besigye. Okay? Is the reason as to why I give respect to Kizza Besigye, despite being on the forefront of the opposition for the longest, is even serving in jail without a particular offense. He still stands tall. He has never broken down. Of course, that's my opinion. Remains truly Mr. Makindi, Kabir Sulaiman Mawagari, the next MP for Makindi constituency. I'll see you on another one. Peace.